Hi, this is Aprastha Bhattacharya, and today we are going to start our whole new syllabus of class 6. Okay, I welcome all of you to my online classes all about computers. And from this session, we are going to have this online classes. I hope it will be beneficial for you. So let's begin with our first chapter, which is the computer system. Before entering into what is computer system and its various aspects, I would like you to know what is computer system and how it is beneficial for us. I think till now we all of us have seen the computer system. We have used it in some or many ways, and mostly we have been using it at home too. Okay, so what is computer system? It is an electronic device. A computer system is an electronic device. Why it is called electronic device? Electronic means it runs with the help of electricity, and because it is a machine, it's also a device, okay, which is running electronically. What is the use? Okay, why it is so popular? Computer is not defined to a specific area or a part of human life, but instead we can see it helping us in different and various areas of human life. We are using it as students, we are using it as teachers, at homes, at schools, at business areas, okay, in governance, in financials, everywhere. Each and every field is using the computers these days. Okay, not an area is an exception. All of them are using computers because it is so versatile. We can use it in so many different ways. Okay, so computers are very beneficial for us. Okay, in computing or analyzing or designing, in publication, we can use it in so many different ways. Why it has become so easiest for us to use a computer in different ways? Because of its various factors. We have been using computer in different ways and different areas. What are these factors? Let us see now. The factors that help computer to be used in different areas are, we can also say that these are the features of computer. Its flexibility. Computers are very flexible in work and nature. We can take any kind of work in computer and do it in a matter of seconds. Okay, so it is very flexible. That is why we can use computer in so many different areas. Okay? It is versatile. Versatile means one computer and so many different works. At one time you can do 2 or more works, or even more than that, in a computer system. So one system is enough for doing different kinds of work alone. You don't need a different kinds of system for every different kind of work there. The storage capacity. One of the most important features of a computer system is the storage capacity of the system, because nowadays, as much as we are using the computers, the less number of files can be seen in offices. The paperwork has been tremendously reduced due to the computer usage. Okay, because all the data, all the information is processed and kept into the computer system, which has tremendously reduced the use of paperwork in offices. And this storage can be used for a long period of time. We can also maintain it at different locations so that we can access it anywhere at any file type. Okay. Computer is a robust and reliable source. Why? Because it only carries out the instruction that is given by the user to us. It will never do anything of its own. So it is very reliable. Whatever the user gives the instruction, it only carries out that. Okay. So these are some of the features of computer system due to which we are being able to use the computer system in not only a particular aspect but nearly all the aspects of human activity. Whether that is education, whether that is business, whether that is financing, whether that is governance, publication, writing, content production, animating, etc., etc. There is such a long list, okay, where the computers are used. So on the basis of these features, we can categorize computers into different categories. Okay. So what are the categories of computer system? The computer system can be categorized into 4 different computers according to their size, their performance, and the number of users and the data they handle. Okay, so the first type of computer that we use is the micro computer. Okay, the first computer that we use is the microcomputer. Now this kind of computer is developed to be used by one user at a time. Okay, and it can further be also called personal computer. The computers that we use in our day-to-day life are microcomputers. Okay, and they are also known as personal computer. Now these personal computers can be divided into other different groups also, which you can say mobiles, desktop or laptop. Okay, it means the device that you are using in your hand now for accessing this video, the mobiles, that is also a microcomputer. Okay, the desktop system that we use in our schools, they are also microcomputer. Okay, the laptop also that we use, it is also a microcomputer. So why microcomputer is called personal computer? Because it is generally designed for a general purpose, so that the common people can also access the computer and its features. Okay, so it is a general purpose computer which is designed specifically to used by one user at a time. At once only one user can use the system, not more than that. Okay, the mobiles that we are using, they are also microcomputer. Okay, the palm top or the tablet that we use, those are also microcomputers. Desktop and laptops, they are also comprised of various components, various hardware and software devices. They are also the microcomputer. The second one is mini computer. Now what is mini computer? It is a medium sized computer, much bigger than the microcomputer. Why? I will tell you. Because it has more features than the microcomputers. Means here only one user can use the computer system at a time, but in mini computers at a time 200 users can use it. Okay, 200 users, here one and here 200 users, that is a huge difference. Okay, so mini computers are more faster, they have more storage capacity and more processing speed than the microcomputer system. Okay, they have more storage capacity. They have also multiple microprocessor. Now you may have come across this word microprocessor, which may be new to you. I may tell you that microcomputer has only one microprocessor. mini computer has multiple microprocessor. Why? Because the workload is more there. We need more than one processor to carry out a heavy workload. Okay, but here in microcomputer, since the work is less compared than other computers, only one microprocessor is there, so it is general purpose computer. Now what is microprocessor? Okay, you may have seen this kind of rectangular chip which is written Intel here in TVs and advertisements also. So it is a silicon chip, okay, and this silicon chip is capable of doing such tremendous works which is carried out in the computer system. All the works are regulated and maintained by this small chip. The size doesn't matter, but it is really very powerful to maintain all the works and do all the codes that is assigned by the user to the computer system. Okay, so this chip is microprocessor. Okay, inside it there are numerous tiny circuits which allows the microprocessor to convey the messages from user to the interface and computer to the user back. All the work are done and regulated by this small silicon chip. Now where are mini computers used? Mini computers can be used in organizations where there are more than one user. Okay, it means it can be used collectively into an organization, like business firm. In educational areas also, where they have more data load, okay, there we can use the mini computer. Next is mainframe computer. Mainframe computer. These computers are very big in size. Okay, I will tell you why they are big in size, because the main work of these mainframe computers is to store a huge amount of data inside them. That is why they are as big as a room. Okay, there are really big boxes which fill inside a large room, and they all are very efficient. They are highly powerful and they can store just a massive amount of data inside them. Okay, they have many microprocessors, or multiple, you can say. They are also multiple microprocessors. Generally, these kinds of computers are used to store the data and are extensively used in the government sector or industrial sector, where the data is to be shared and used among the users. Okay, it has massive storage capacity. It is very powerful in storing the data. Okay, it is used in government offices and industrial areas also. Okay, so that people can use the data extensively there. And the last one is supercomputer. As the name suggests, super. Okay, super means it is the most powerful and most biggest of all the computers given here. Okay, it is more and more powerful than the mainframe computer. Also, the most powerful computers of the world are supercomputers. You may have heard the name of Param Okay, they are also supercomputer. What is the work of this supercomputer? Okay, supercomputers are mainly used for calculative works. Okay, the works which require calculations every time. And there are some kind of supercomputers which have never been shut down till they have started. Okay, so these calculation work can be what? Can be market analysis, it can be geological prediction, etc. Okay, it is also used for the research purpose, nuclear research or biological research. Extensively, the supercomputers are mainly used for the researching function, so they are very powerful. Now these mainframe computer and supercomputer have to be maintained always inside the AC room. Why? Because they are continuously working and emitting the heat. If the temperature is not maintained inside those rooms, they are not able to give a satisfactory performance. Okay, so these are the types of computer that we use in our day-to-day life, or they are used in various areas of our human activity. Okay, after this we will see what are the different works in different areas, and also we will start next chapter or next topic in which we can deal about the main works of these kind of computer system. Thank you.